Jamal Niaz here with Dylan Moran ahead of his biggest fight of his career against Florian Marku on the undercard of Liam Smith, Chris Eubank II. We've known each other for a long time. We were discussing that before. You mentioned you used to be living in Kieran Farrell's gym years and years ago when you were just starting out, 2016, 2017. Now to be fighting in Manchester Arena on one of the biggest stages of the year. Just reflect on that. How incredible has this journey been to get to this point?
Yeah, first of all, happy to be here. Delighted to be talking to yourself after, you've been there since day one. It's been a great story, and yeah, I'm looking forward to getting there Saturday night, Jamal. I've been through it. I've been through the gutter in order to be here today, and I plan on making the most of it.
There's been times where you've flown over to other countries, the fight's been called off last minute, lots of things have happened, you've fought overseas numerous of times. Just in terms of how you stuck with the fight game, you mentioned there were times where you felt, is this going to happen, is the big stage going to come? What do you put down that to for your resilience to the game?
I don't know, to be honest, but had I walked away at any point, I was leaving this on the table. It's just been start, stop, challenge after challenge, and thankfully I stuck with it, and there's been a lot of people on that journey with me as well, my family, my friends, and to have them all here today, my little brother, to be experiencing this and to give him a night like what Saturday night is going to be, man, I'm glad to be able to do it.
And it's a perfect storm because it's not just a fight on a big stage, there's a genuine bit of grudge and animosity between you two, which always helps ticket sales, doesn't it? Like, there's a back and forth, fans are tuning in, fans like Florian, fans like you. You're from very patriotic countries as well, so the Irish are getting behind you, the Albanians are getting behind him. What have you made of the whole experience, and what do you make of him as a guy as well?
Yeah, look, there has been back and forth. It isn't anything personal, it never is. I said a prayer this morning and I asked that me and Florian both leave the ring in full health. I think that's the difference between me and him. At the same time, I don't particularly like the guy, and I plan on punching his head in Saturday night.
Have you found his demeanour towards you disrespectful? Like, he said stuff like, shut up whilst I'm talking, things like that. His mannerisms towards you suggest that he is underestimating you. Like you said, he didn't know who you were before the fight was made. Things like that. They're obviously trying to get in your head. You've trained with Conor McGregor, you've been a key part of his training camp. Jake Paul called you out years ago, so many people in the fight game know who you are.
Exactly, and Florian, more so than anyone, knows who I am. So don't read too much into what he says. He's got his homework done, and he seems a bit unsettled the last 2 days, same at the head-to-head. He knows he's got a fight on his hands.
In terms of what you've seen in his career so far, what do you rate of him as a boxer?
Yeah, he's a good fighter. I wouldn't say any different. A tough task, one that I believe I'll come through in good fashion.
In terms of what he's experienced, has he experienced anything like you before from what you've seen in there?
I don't think so. I think he's been matched stylistically pretty well in terms of guys that he's fought. They stand up, they're stiff, they stand in front of him and they make him look good. The only guy he boxed somewhat like me was Chris Jenkinson, and he lit him up for 4 rounds. As soon as he planted his feet, he got clipped. But yeah, he's going to have his hands full with me Saturday night.
And obviously we're prior to the press conference when we're speaking now. But do you lap it up when you're on that stage, when you're in there, the face-to-face? Do you enjoy figuring him out, looking into his eyes and seeing exactly what he's thinking?
Yeah, sizing him up, getting a feel off him, energy says a lot. But it isn't about all this for me. I just want to get in there Saturday night, get the job done and move on.
We spoke a couple of years ago. You helped Conor McGregor prior to his Dustin Poirier fight in Abu Dhabi. That must have been a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Hopefully it's not once-in-a-lifetime experience. Hopefully you team up with him again. But how that came about and what happened after it was incredible, wasn't it? Like, what a partnership that was.
Yeah, that was a crazy time in my life. Shout out to Conor McGregor and Forrest Dyer Stout backing me in this fight. They've sponsored the whole show. He's doing amazing things in boxing, and I just want to say thank you. Back then, yeah, crazy time in my life. A lot of publicity, a lot of all of this stuff. So it's nothing new to me. I've been here before, and it's just about getting the job done now Saturday night.
You guys still chat quite regularly, yeah?
We could be chatting, yeah, but I tend to leave Conor alone, and I think he respects that as well. The last thing he wants is me asking him how's his day going. As you can imagine, I'd say his phone is off the rails 90% of the time, so I leave him to it.
I think a lot of people want to see him enter the boxing game at some point. We've seen him obviously against the best of all time, Floyd Mayweather, but to see him in regular fights in the squared circle, that would be really fun once his MMA career is truly done. What did you make of him going toe-to-toe with him?
Yeah, Conor is very, very good. Very, very good. Very meticulous in what he does. He doesn't miss a trick. He studies everything. He analyses everything. His work rate is what I respected after coming out of that camp. A guy who's got the world at his feet, and to still show up and put the graft in the way he does, that's commendable. So, yeah, don't be surprised if you see him in a boxing ring.
When Jake Paul, he gunned for you during that time, didn't he? He specifically went for you as his training partner. What do you make of that? And you went and clapped right back at him. And that was like the start of you bringing out that personality of like taking absolutely no shit and going for people who are going for you, which that sells, like I mentioned, it's selling in this fight. Was that a real moment of a turning point for yourself where you're like, I'm not going to take anything anyone says to me now?
Yeah, that's always the way I've been. Look, I'm just one of the lads up here trying my hand at it. Above no one, below no one. But at the same time, I'm no fool. I'm able to handle myself. And yeah, the Jake Paul thing was a crazy time in my life. Who'd have thought? But it's been and gone. You know, Florian Marku is next on my list.
Just mentioning Jake, what have you made of his career so far? Like, he's obviously fought Nate Diaz, Anderson Silva. He's fought some big famous guys from the world of MMA and boxing.
Hey, credit to him. You know, I wouldn't knock him. I wouldn't say anything bad about him. We had a little bit of beef and that was it. He's taking on hard fights. He's bringing more eyes to the sport, so it can only be a good thing.
In a grudge match like this, is anything less than a knockout disappointing for yourself, or would you rather put on a clinic and dismantle him?
Just winning in whatever way possible, whether it comes by knockout, whether it comes by points. I don't care what way it comes, but it has to come. I'm completely focused on Saturday night. Nothing else matters. It's blinkers on.
Looking forward to it. Best of luck. Appreciate your time, man. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.